Welcome back a lecture series of integrated circuit course with the subject code KEC 501. Okay. I am Punit Kumar Mishra, Assistant Professor, ECE Department, GLVITM, Greater Noida. Today we discuss about a timer IC that is known as the IC 555 timer. Okay. The first IC 555 timer is introduced by Signetic Corporation in 1972, which is based on the bipolar technology, and later many IC 555 timer will be manufactured by and based on the CMOS technology also. Today we discuss about the IC 555 timer. The first IC 555 timer is a monolithic integrated circuit which is made on a combination of analog comparator and a digital flip flop. It means we can say that the IC 555 timer is a mixed mode IC, and mixed mode IC is basically the combination of the both part, that is the some component is analog and some one is digital. Now next IC 555 timer can be used for a precise timing pulse generation as a delay element. When we talk about application of IC 555 timer, two is most popular application of IC 555 timer. One is the mono stable multivibrator, second one is the astable multivibrator. So first we discuss about the some concept of the mono stable and astable multivibrator. Mono stable multivibrator is mono means single, stable, and multivibrator is a electronic circuit which output can be vibrate between the two level, that is the low level and high level. There are basically three types: bistable, monostable and astable. So here we discuss only about the monostable and astable. Mono means one stable state, and when we give the trigger to input up device, for example, if you give the trigger to IC 555 timer, it goes to some quasi stable, again it back to stable state. And second one is the astable. Astable mono multivibrator has no stable state, and the best example of astable multivibrator is the free running oscillator or a square wave generator. This is the pin diagram of IC 555 timer. It is basically 8 pin DIP IC, dual in line package IC, by pin number 1 for a ground, 2 is trigger, 3 we taken the output from pin number 3, and we can reset the IC function with the help of pin number 4. Pin number 4 is defined as the reset pin. Pin number 5 is a control voltage during the pulse generation or during the square wave generation. We can manipulate the timing of a wave with the help of this pin, which is defined as a control voltage, that is the pin number 5. Pin number 6 is threshold voltage. Inside 555 timer there are the two analog comparator. One is defined as threshold comparator, second one is defined as a trigger comparator. Pin number 6 is control the threshold comparator, and pin number 2 which is defined as a trigger pin is control the trigger comparator. Okay. Pin number 7 is discharge. Okay. External we need a external capacitor which required for a wave shaping circuit. External capacitor can be discharged with the help of pin number 7. It directly connected to pin number 7, or it may be connected with a resistor with pin number 7, and it can be discharged with the help of pin number 7. And inside IC we have a NPN transistor. So with the help of NPN transistor we can discharge the external capacitor. And pin number 8 is used for a power supply. Pin number 8 is used for a power supply, and 1 is used for a ground. So all voltage can be calculated with respect to pin number 1, that is the ground. this is the internal structure of functional block. We can say that a functional block of IC 555 timer. Okay. First, it has a one voltage divider network which is associated with the 3 5K resistor R1, R2, R3. These are the 5K which give the name of IC 555 timer, because it is associated with a voltage divider network with the 3 resistor, all are with the value of 5 kilo ohms. Okay. Now, next we calculate the voltage at this calculate the voltage here. So, we get the 2 VCC by 3. If you calculate the voltage, we calculate the voltage at this in this will be 2 VCC by 3 and another fixed point here, and if here we calculate, to we get the voltage VCC by 3. Okay. Functional block has 2 comparator, one is C1, second one is C2. It also defined as a upper comparator. Some book in some book it is defined as upper comparator and lower comparator, and some book also give the name the threshold comparator and trigger comparator. C2 as a trigger comparator. Functional block associate with one flip flop, RS flip flop, okay, and 2 transistor. One is PNP transistor. This one the PNP transistor. We say that the transistor Q2 as a PNP transistor, and transistor Q1 as a NPN transistor. Okay. Output stage is basically an inverter. This is the inverter, and here it can be used as a power amplifier. It can restore the value or give the high swing at the output side from output VOL to VOH, low level to high level. Okay. Now, in previous slide we discussed about the pin number, all pins. So, here the pin number 1 is ground, it is a ground pin, okay, and pin number 2 is as a trigger pin. Here is trigger pin, and it associated with the inverting terminal of comparator C2. Now, pin number 3 output taken from pin number 3, this will be the output. Pin number 4 is used for reset. This will be the reset pin, pin number 4. When pin number 4 is activated, it reset the timer circuit or a IC 555 timer. Pin number 5 is a control voltage. This will be the control voltage. Here it connected, and it will be the fixed to the inverting terminal of comparator C1, inverting terminal of comparator C1 or a threshold comparator. Now, next is pin number 6. Pin number 6 is the threshold, defined as a threshold pin, pin number 6, and it is the non-inverting terminal of upper comparator or a threshold comparator. Pin number 6 is a threshold comparator and it connected to C1, so it is also called the threshold comparator, and pin number 2 is the trigger pin and it connected to the comparator C2 or a lower comparator, so it is also defined as a trigger comparator. Okay. Now, pin number 7 is most important pin. Pin number 7 is used for discharging the external capacitor. Pin number 7 is used for discharging the external capacitor with the help of transistor NPN transistor, that is the Q1. Q1 transistor provide a discharging path for a external capacitor with the pin number 7, and pin number 8 is a power supply. This is VCC, is a power supply connected to pin number 8. Now next we discuss about the 1 to 8 pin by pin definition and functioning of all pin. First, pin number 1. Pin number 1 is ground, and it connected to ground, and all voltage are calculated with respect to this terminal. Okay, that is the pin number 1. Pin number 2 is external trigger pulse applied to this terminal, that is the pin number 2, and this pin is also connected to the inverting terminal of a comparator 2, that is the lower comparator LC or a trigger comparator. Now next, the pin number 3, output driver is connected to this pin. Output driver means inverter or a buffer. In some IC we use buffer at the output side to these are the driver, output driver, inverter, buffer as a power amplifier. It can be connected to pin number 3. We can take the output from pin number 3. Now the pin number 4 is reset pin. The IC 555 timer IC can be reset by applying a negative trigger pulse to pin number 4. How it can work? Okay. First, we see here this is the V reference, and it is a high value or a positive value. So it considered as a logic 1. This will be considered as a logic 1. And here is the PNP transistor. This one the PNP transistor. And we apply a negative pulse at pin number 4, that is the logic 0. We apply logic 0 at pin number 4, and NPN, if you compare the PNP or NPN with the PMOS or NMOS, for example PMOS on for logic 0, NPN transistor is also on for logic 0. So we apply logic 0 at pin number 4, means it goes to on state. Transistor Q2 is in on state. Okay, and it behave as a short circuit. Here it behave as a short circuit. Okay, this is behave as a short circuit, and here we take the logic 1, and output become logic 0. So what we apply at pin number 2 or a pin number 5 or a pin number 6 does not mean for a output, because we reset the output at logic 0 with the help of pin number 4. So that pin number 4 is defined as the reset pin, and it can be fix the functionality of timer circuit, or give the constant value at the output side. If let's suppose that when reset is not in use, we don't use pin number 4, then we can never put pin number 4 as a float. Then at this time the reset function is not in use. When reset function is not in use, the reset terminal should be connected to pin number 8. Okay, pin number 8 is VCC. This will pin number 8 is used for power supply, that is the VCC. And if we when reset function is not used, then reset or pin number 4 is connected to power supply. Power supply means it is a positive value, that is the logic 1, and if in logic 1, this is the this will be the PNP transistor, and PNP transistor PNP off for logic 1. Okay. It will be off. Off means it behave as a open circuit. This will be the open circuit. Then output, here is the output. This is the V NOT gate, and this is the pin number 3. Okay. Here is the flip flop, RS flip flop. Okay. Basically, this PNP, when we connect the pin number 4. Pin number 4 to pin number 8, yeah, we sorted the pin number 4 to pin number 8. The output does not will be affect through pin number 4. Okay, it will be not disturb the output of IC 555 timer. So if if you not use the pin number 4, then it is sorted with the pin number 8. So generally, when we see IC 555 timer as a monostable or a stable multivibrator, then we see that in IC diagram pin number 4 and pin number 8 are sorted with the same power supply, that is the VCC. Pin number now next pin is the pin number 5. Pin number 5 is control voltage, and external voltage is applied to this terminal to control the threshold as well as the trigger voltage. How it can work? Pin number 4. Okay. Let us suppose that this is the voltage divider circuit, 3 resistor. This is the R1, all are of 5K R. This will be the 5K. This is also 5 kilo ohms. Okay. This is the voltage divider network, and here the two comparator, comparator 1 and comparator 2. One is the threshold comparator, other one is the trigger comparator. Okay. Let us suppose that we give the control a voltage to pin number 5. For example, we put the 6 volt. It is a basically fixed to VCC by 3. If power supply is VCC, then it is fixed to pin number 5 is fixed to 2 VCC by 3, and we try to give this one 6 volt. Okay. So here, if you calculate VCC by 2 VCC is 18 volt, or VCC is 9 volt. Then it work with the 9 volt. We give the pin number 8 as a 9 volt and change here the threshold value for a comparator 1. This will be the 6 volt. Okay, and also trigger is also changed, and this will be the 3 volt. Okay, so it simply say in theory pin number 3 control the threshold as well as the trigger voltage. Okay, or we can change the timing of a square wave or a pulse at the output side with the help of this pin number 4. Generally, if you pin number 4 not in use, if pin number 4 not in use, it is generally connected to, let us suppose that this is the IC 555 timer, pin number 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be the 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. If pin number 5 is not in use, we don't put as a float. It can be connected a bypass capacitor, and the value of this bypass capacitor is generally taken as 0.01 microfarad. And the why we take this capacitor, bypass capacitor, it can be it can be increase the noise immunity of timer circuit, or it can be neglect any noise effect which can try to change the output or a functionality of IC 555 timer circuit. Then we if pin number 5 not in use, then it connected to a bypass capacitor, and the value is generally we chosen 0.01 microfarad. Okay. Here pin number 5 is not in use, it is connected to a ground through a bypass capacitor to prevent any noise problem. Okay. To prevent any noise problem. Now, next is the threshold voltage. This is the non-inverting terminal of comparator 1, C1 or a upper comparator, okay, and it is also connected to external capacitor. In application part of IC 555 timer, how pin number 6, pin number 7 or pin number 2 connected to output environment, for example external capacitor, resistor or a trigger input. It is the part of the IC 555 timer application. Here we discuss about it is generally connected to external capacitor, and external capacitor value charging value of external capacitor give the threshold voltage for a comparator C1 or a upper comparator. Okay. And according to this value voltage across external capacitor, the output of comparator may be logic 0 or may be logic 1. Okay. For example, if you see the pin number 6, pin number 6 is basically the plus minus the pin number 6, and this will be the connected to external capacitor C. Let us suppose that external capacitor, and this capacitor is charged through a power supply plus VCC. Okay. And if and this value is fixed. Okay. Inverting terminal of comparator C1 will fix, this is the 2 VCC by 3. So, if V plus if charging voltage across the capacitor is greater than 2 VCC by 3, okay, if greater than 2 VCC by 3, it means V plus is greater than V minus, and if V plus is greater than V minus, output is logic 1. It is the meaning of threshold pin. Okay. It can be decide the what is the value of comparator 1 or a upper comparator. It depends upon the charging and discharging of external capacitor, which is directly connected to the threshold pin, that is the pin number 6. Now, next is the discharge. This pin is connected to the collector terminal of transistor Q1, NPN transistor, and it is used to discharge the external capacitor through transistor Q1. So, we discuss about in a functional block of IC 555 timer. This is the our NPN transistor, okay, and this is the this collector, this one base, and here is the emitter. So, pin number 7 is basically connected the connect the collector terminal of NPN transistor, and here is the base. Base is connected with the Q bar of RS flip flop. This is the output. For example, case 1, when the output is high means output is logic 1, then Q bar is definitely logic 0. Okay, this is the logic 0, and for a logic 0, NPN transistor off for logic 0. So, this will be the off. Okay. This is transistor will off. This is the off, means external capacitor has no discharging path, means no discharging path for external capacitor. This will be the off, means external capacitor is directly disconnected with the ground. Okay. Now, the second case will be, second case of the output is logic 0. Okay. If output is logic 0, it Q bar become logic 1, and this is the NPN transistor, and it is on for logic 1. If base is logic 1, it goes to on state, and this is the on. It provides a discharging path for external capacitor. So, external capacitor will discharge with the help of transistor NPN, that is the Q1 transistor, and Q1 transistor, and collector of the Q1 transistor is connected to pin number 7. So, pin number 7 is defined as the discharge pin. Now, next and last pin is the power supply. The power supply of SENE, Signetic Corporation, give the name of IC SENE 555 timer, is basically work, it is general purpose IC, and it is work with the plus 5 volt to plus 18 volt applied with respect to ground at the pin number 8. Okay. This is the IC 555 timer are some application, bounce free switches, cascaded timer, is basically used as a timer integrated circuit, IC 555 timer. Frequency divider, if you see the monostable application, it can be used as a frequency divider, okay, or a pulse detector. VCO, voltage control oscillator, can be designed with the help of IC 555 timer. VCO is a basically combination of a multiplier, and we can say that A-stable multivibrator and integrator circuit. Okay. So, these are the made with the A-stable multivibrator can make with the IC 555 timer. Now, the pulse generator and LED flasher, we give the we generate the square wave at the output of IC 555 timer in case of A-stable multivibrator mode. So, it can be turn on or turn off a LED light emitting diode. Sawtooth wave can be designed with the help of IC 555 timer. Pulse width modulator circuit as a monostable multivibrator, and pulse position modulator can it is designed with the help of IC 555 timer. So, these are the basic example of IC or a basic application of IC 555 timer. Okay. Okay. Now, thank you for attending this session.